Imagine you're going to give a presentation in class or at work. Would you include pictures to illustrate your points? Would you tell a story or act out a skit? The method you choose would draw on your talents and reflect the way that you solve problems and learn. So if visual aids like maps and drawings help you understand concepts, you're likely to include them in your presentation. But if someone else watching your presentation learns by doing, they might not be able to follow along unless you use body language and actions to physically demonstrate what you're talking about. American psychologist Howard Gardner first recognized that people have different ways of learning and problem solving. He worked with autistic patients who excelled at music or math, although they lacked social awareness or the ability to communicate effectively with others. Gardner proposed the theory of multiple intelligences, which suggests that people have different strengths and different ways of solving problems. Gardner's theory was groundbreaking because before he proposed multiple intelligences, only logic and math were tested. Gardner's system created a more descriptive, multi-dimensional approach. Before, IQ was used as shorthand for learning potential and capability, but only people who were good at solving math problems were smart, according to the test. Gardner's work helped to explain diverse learning styles and approaches, allowing for educational developments which have changed how we teach. From these studies, a list of 8 types of intelligence was created. When you were in high school, maybe people were looked down upon if they weren't good at football, but were good at math. Gardner showed that there are many types of smart. The football players had one type of intelligence, and the math team had another kind of intelligence. Let's talk about Gardner's 8 types of intelligence. Be sure to keep an eye out for the types that you relate to. First type is visual intelligence. You might have visual intelligence if you picture ideas or make mind maps. American architect Frank Lloyd Wright provides a good example of someone who's picture smart, because when he designed buildings, he could visualize spatial patterns such as building design before they were even built. A second type is linguistic intelligence. Are you a good storyteller? If so, you're word smart and have the ability to speak and write well. Shakespeare used his high linguistic intelligence to write plays that have been loved for hundreds of years. A third type is logical and mathematical intelligence. Can you think of someone who's number smart? How about Einstein? He had a skill for solving problems using deductive reasoning. Physicists and chess players both employ logical and mathematical intelligence. A fourth type is musical intelligence. If you only need to listen to a song once to be able to play it by ear, you're music smart. Mozart and others with advanced musical intelligence are sensitive to sound patterns. I personally relate to the fifth type, bodily and kinesthetic intelligence, because I learn faster when I can do an experiment myself. Instead of reading an astronomy textbook, I'd rather learn by looking at the stars. Athletes and surgeons also use body smarts when they execute physical tasks. Michael Jordan excels in bodily and kinesthetic intelligence. Do you have interpersonal intelligence or the ability to work well with others? Are you a social butterfly who always gets everyone together? The sixth type of intelligence is interpersonal intelligence, and Mother Teresa of Calcutta is a good example. She had a gift for working well with others through her missionaries of charity, as do others who are people smart. The other side of the coin is intrapersonal intelligence. Do you keep a journal of your personal viewpoints about events? People who are self-smart often reflect on their own emotions and thoughts about things. His Holiness the Dalai Lama has a deep understanding of himself and is thus a prime example of someone with intrapersonal intelligence. An eighth type is naturalistic intelligence. As a scientist, I classify things in order to better understand them. And when I do this, I'm using naturalist intelligence. Jane Goodall used her innate curiosity and nature smarts to recognize patterns in chimpanzee behavior. Her approach led to new insights that differed from those of other scientists who had previously used number smarts to statistically analyze chimps. People don't only have one type of intelligence to the exclusion of all others. Each of us has a combination of multiple types of intelligences. Which types of intelligence do you identify with? Some people endorse the idea of multiple intelligences, but propose other types of problem-solving skills that aren't included in Gardner's list of types. Nonetheless, the basic idea of Gardner's theory is that there are many ways that people can be smart. And intelligence is not only one thing. Being smart in one area doesn't necessarily mean you can work out problems in all areas, because different problems require different skill sets to solve. So you may be good at solving math problems, but be terrible at interpersonal relationships. As our understanding of the world has broadened, the ways in which we've come to know the world have also had to grow.